It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Time for the Southern California Writers Association Hump Day Book Tour. I'm your host, Maddie Margarita, here with Diana Pardee on tech. Every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m., the SCWA turns our Facebook page over to a different author to talk about their books and their work. This morning, we are thrilled to have with us the fabulous Sheri Fink. Sheri went from small town girl with big dreams to becoming the first person in her family to graduate from college, to blossoming into an award-winning entrepreneur who became a #1 international best-selling author and launched an inspirational empire. Sheri, whenever I'm around you, I always feel like such a slacker because you do so many things. And you, as I said before off camera, your books have made a personal impact in our family, on the kids in our family. And I want to thank you for writing them and writing books with such a great message. So do you want to talk a little bit about how you got started writing and particularly writing books with this message
Sure, yeah.
or messages?
So, for me, when I was a little girl, I wanted to be a writer, a teacher, a mother, a princess, and a mermaid. And this is the best job ever because it's the only one where I can do all of those things and it's totally legit. But as a kid, I had all these big dreams, but I didn't know how to make them come true. I was always writing my own little stories and dreaming about these whimsical worlds. But I kind of set that aside and got good grades in school and went to college and thought I wanted to climb the corporate ladder. And once I did, I climbed the ladder, I got up to the top, and I was like, wow, I think I maybe picked the wrong ladder. And I had this soul searching time in my life where I was good at what I did and I was rewarded, but it wasn't as fulfilling as it once was. I wanted to make a bigger difference, but I didn't know how. And I kind of felt a little bit handcuffed, because I had done well in corporate and I liked having the money and the perks and all that good stuff that we all, think we want when we're kids. But I felt like I was called to do more. And it wasn't until I was actually inspired by a gift of adversity that I wrote my first book, which was The Little Rose. And when I wrote it, I didn't even know it was a children's book. I had no idea what it was. I just knew that it flowed through me like nothing had ever done before. And I put it away in a drawer and I thought, okay, well, that was interesting. And I wasn't going to do anything with it until a year later. I was having a random conversation with a woman who I now think was an earth angel. And she was talking to me about writing. And she was like, well, what do you write? And I was like, yeah, business, marketing, boring. She's like, no, 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 you've got more. And I remembered that little story that was tucked in a drawer. And I said, well, I have this story. And she's like, well, tell me. So I told her about the little rose, about a rose that grows up in a weed bed. And because she's different, thinks that she's the weed and has to discover that she's a beautiful rose no matter what. And she said, I just got goosebumps. You have to do something with that because my grandchildren need that message. And that's when I thought, maybe it's a children's book. And I remembered as a kid, the way that I would deal with hard things was that I would write about them and that would make me feel better. And I thought, what if I could help kids feel like I could nurture the seeds that their parents and their teachers are planting of their self-esteem so that they feel very positive about themselves and their possibilities in life, and they make different choices about who they are and what's possible for them and for other people. And I was so enamored with that idea, even though it was terrifying, that I had to do something with it. So within 6 months, I published The Little Rose, had no idea what I was doing, made tons of mistakes, but I got it out into the world. And then 2 weeks later, it became a #1 bestseller on Amazon. Then it stayed at #1 for over 60 weeks due to word of mouth and changed everything in my life. And then I had another idea and another idea. And now we're about to celebrate the release of my 15th book. I've written 3 different genres, and my children's is still my favorite. There's just something very special about a children's book that reaches young kids. And for me, what I actually write is social emotional learning books. So that means that the reader discovers something special about themselves as they're reading the story. So each of my children's books has an embedded message that the kids discover. And I love that because it's just one more way of nurturing that little person into becoming who they're meant to be.
So can you hold up some of the illustrations? You held up the little rose there for a minute, and on any of your books. I
Sure.
think that they're amazing and they are so eye-catching and colorful that kids are drawn to just look at the book. And I can say that the messages are not preachy. They're still in the great narrative that really is entertaining for kids, but they get the message.
Thank you. Well, this one's my newest one that's out already called The Little Monster. So I'm going to show you some scenes from this one. This one's super fun because it actually glows in the dark. It's about
Wow.
a monster who's afraid of the dark, and he has to learn to overcome his fear in time for his big birthday sleepover party, which is something that a lot of kids can relate to. And also during the pandemic, I was getting a lot of letters from parents saying that their kids suddenly, never before, were afraid of the dark. And I thought, oh, this is the way it's manifesting for them because it's something that makes sense to them, you know. So I decided I would write a book that would help with that. So every page of the book has glow in the dark elements. So the whole idea is like a ninja trick to get kids comfortable in the dark. They read the book with a flashlight and then they want to turn the lights off to see what glows on each page. So they're
What a
having
great idea.
fun and getting comfortable without even realizing it. And I'm going to show you my favorite scene of this book. So it's kind of the grand finale when he's having his birthday
Beautiful.
party with all his friends and his parents and his cake, and yeah,
That's
super fun.
beautiful. And you know what I noticed too? Now, did you write accompanying books with the some of the books that you've written?
Right,
Um,
what?
like teachers' guides or learning guides that go with those books?
Yes. So something that's very important to me and my husband, we run a company called Whimsical World. And not only do we publish the books, but we want to support teachers in integrating the messages and the books into the classroom. So with every children's book that we publish, we also publish a free lesson plan that goes over the stretch vocabulary, that has like the social emotional learning questions that they would need to ask the students. It also has like predictive reasoning, like, oh, in the beginning of the book she felt like this, and then what did I think was going to happen, then the middle, or then the end. And then it also has like little projects that they can do to kind of bring those lessons home. We also do release coloring pages, free coloring pages for teachers and parents and libraries, so that if they're younger children, that's a fun way for them to engage with the books as well.
Wow. So what messages or in the books that you've written for kids, what messages do you cover? So if somebody's looking for a particular book to deal with something that their child, grandchild, niece, nephew, next door neighbor might be going through.
Oh, okay, great question. So, The Little Rose is about being your authentic self and finding friends who appreciate you for who you really are. It's really good for kids who are going through bullying or just feeling left out or not belonging. Very positive message, and I find that it's almost a universal message. We almost all experience that at some point in our lives. The Little Monster is about overcoming fears. The Little Gnome is about adapting to change. So he is dealing with the change of the seasons for the first time, and he doesn't understand or like the changes at first. So he has to learn to look for the good in every season and every situation. This one's really good for kids going through transitions like moving, or maybe they're having a baby brother or sister, or there's a divorce, or there's a marriage, or any kind of changes, new school, changes like that. The Little Unicorn is my top seller still. This one is about finding your sparkle within and trusting yourself, building your confidence from the inside out. And then we have the Little Firefly. She's the last one to glow, so she fakes it in hilarious ways. And when they find out, she learns what real friendship is about. This is great for especially younger siblings or younger cousins who want to be like the older kids, but then they're not tall enough, or they're not big enough, or they're not old enough to do the things that the older ones do. So it kind of helps them put in perspective that they will get their opportunity, and where they are right now is the perfect place. And I have a little seahorse. the little seahorse is bashful. So he has to learn to speak up and ask for help in order to bring a gift home for his mom. I was super shy as a kid, and I felt like I missed out on friendships and opportunities and fun things because I was so quiet. And I thought, well, if this gives kids a little nudge, just to be just a little bit braver and make that friend or ask for that help, then maybe they would have an even more fun childhood than I did. And the little dragon is about dealing with our big emotions like anger, fear, embarrassment, anxiety. He loves to dance, but one day he's dancing in his meadow and somebody giggles at him and he has a lot of big feelings about it. So he has to learn how to express that in a healthy way so that he can make a friend to dance with. And last but not least, my newest one, which comes out in September, is about a little penguin who loves to collect gems. And I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but this book cover is extra special because it has glittery gems. Like it actually has glitter on the cover, which I
Wow.
think is so cool. It's fun to be able to do those kinds of things. Now that I'm more established, it's fun. But she gets a little carried away with her collections and has to learn that it's great to appreciate your hobbies and your toys and things that you love in moderation, but the real thing that matters are your friends and your family. So very excited to debut this book in just a few months.
I'm so impressed with the fact that you are your own boss. All these decisions, the creative decisions that everybody sees, come from you, and maybe even Derek,
Yeah,
your partner.
definitely.
Right. So, how does it feel to be able to be in control of all those things? And I mean, I think there's responsibility there too, but how does it feel? Do you feel the pressure, or is it still fun? Or, I mean, you have new changes in your life. You might be able to read one of those, the little gnome over again. How is that? How do you manage everything?
Well, a kid asked me, how does it feel to do what I do? And I thought about it for a second, and it totally applies here too. Like as a business owner and as an author, it feels like every day is your birthday, and you get to be the one who gives out the presents. And it's a juicy good feeling, It's a lot of work. It is. I'm not gonna lie. Like we do so many things behind the scenes that never make it to social media that we don't trumpet, like there's a lot of things that we do for charity. There's a lot of, we have different versions of all the books, video books, ebooks, audio book editions, and we produce and record and all of that stuff ourselves. And we get to learn a lot of fun new skills. And I think I'm the kind of person that gets bored if it's too predictable. So as an entrepreneur, you wake up in the morning and you have good intentions, but you never exactly know, what you're going to be doing. You have plans, but it's always something new and exciting. And our fans, like something unique about writing for children is that your fans grow up. So you're constantly wanting to come up with something new to reach a new audience and keep the old things fresh too, because they're new to a new audience, right? They don't care that it came out 8 years ago. They don't have any idea that they just know that they're the right age right now.
Right.
So it's really fun. And then also working with my husband, it's a dream come true. Like, because before I met him, we were each doing our own careers and parallel, and
But
now
Derek was an author also, correct?
yes, he's
Right.
very
Yes.
established at that
Uh,
point. He had his four scary school books out. That's the one he's most known for. And El Perro con Sombrero, his bilingual doggy tale, which is still one of the best-selling bilingual children's picture books in history. So he was already established. And then we took our imaginations and combined them and created something bigger and better than we could have created before alone. So it's pretty fun having someone to bounce ideas off of and collaborate with, and
well, but
you know,
he writes for an older demographic, still youth-based books. So he has a book out, right? His book just came out.
yes, he has 17 books, and the newest one is called Hysterical Rhymes and How You Can Rhyme Too. And it's kind of like a Shel Silverstein style, Light in the Attic, or The End of the Sidewalk, or Where the Sidewalk Ends. But he not only has these hilarious poetry, his brain is so amazing. Like he's He's like the most prolific writer that I know. He's inspiring, and he's just got these off the wall ideas that are perfect for his audience. And he has that woven in with these lessons on how kids can not only read and appreciate poetry, but how they can write their own. And he really boils it down for them. So it's a great guide for teachers to incorporate into the classroom. And it's just super fun. And it has all these cool illustrations in it that just make me laugh so hard.
What grade, Sheri? What grades do you think would be interested in that book?
I would say probably like 2 to 8,
Two to
second
eight.
grade to eighth grade. Yeah, it's a big range because I think the younger kids can appreciate the humor and the funny illustrations. And then the older kids can appreciate the mechanics of how to actually write the poetry. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
great.
it's
That's
really fun.
fantastic. And now, and you're moving into a different age range, right? Is your
Yeah, one of the things that I like to do is follow the inspiration wherever it leads me, even when I'm very unsure about where I'm going. And so Derek and I are actually co-writing a book that's for middle grade. And I'm not going to tell any details about it yet because it's going to be a big reveal. But it's so fun and it's cool to write a different genre for me, and it's really fun to get to do it with Derek because he's so he's so creative and he's so talented with the world building. I'm actually learning a lot through the process. So I always say that the children's picture books are a bit of an art and a science. You have to accomplish a lot in a very short amount of text and pages. And for me, you got to get the heart of the message out into the reader, you know? But with the middle grade book, you get to build this world and have a lot more detail, and there's sophistication in it. And then what if you want it to be a series? You have to plant those seeds early on. So it's a lot more thinking about it and less feeling, but we're still going to have that embedded empowering message within the story too. So it's really fun.
so you have a lot of new productions, including an expanded family, a production that you're working on right now as we speak.
Yes, our
Uh,
biggest collaboration yet is
yes.
our baby mermaid who's arriving this summer. So I'm super
So,
pregnant right now. I'm very
so,
excited.
well, we're excited for you, and we know that she will be a mermaid for sure. But so you're an author. You have everything going on. You do a lot of work outside of a lot of personal appearances, which you probably have maybe tapered down a little bit, but maybe we'll be building back up to after the baby is born and all of those good things. Is that
Yes, that is the plan. We
that's
we
the
are
plan?
planning to take her along with us, and she's just going to be a part of our business. She's going to grow up in this whimsical world, and she's going to learn her leadership skills and her teamwork and her customer service. And we're just I'm tearing up right now.
The hormones
We're
too.
just really excited to bring her along and for all of our fans to get to meet her.
Well, we're excited for you, and I know, like I said, you are in charge of everything. So, how do people, or where can people buy your books? How do people buy your books for their kids, grandkids, neighbors, parties, friends?
Well,
Maybe older people that you know that could benefit from the message. Doesn't have to be just kids. I know a lot of people who could benefit from these messages, Sheri.
thank you. Well, the best place, our favorite place for you to find our books is at our website at whimsicalworldbooks.com. You can shop for all the different variations of the books. And the best part about ordering directly from our website is that we can sign the books for you and also personalize them for the recipient with a special message. And each package that goes out, we put little bonus surprises in there because we want it to be extra special for the recipient. So if you order from us, we can do the special treatment on it. You can also, of course, find them on Amazon. Audiobooks are available on ACX and Audible and Amazon, all the places. Ebooks available on Kindle, some of them on Barnes& and Noble, some of the older ones. And let's see, video books. If you go to whimsicalworldbooks.com, you can click our video books tab and you can buy actual video editions. And it's so cool because we are actually reading the book to you, and it's as if you're immersed in the world. So the pages are turning, and there's music and there's sound effects, and it's so fun. And you can choose to buy them, or you can even just rent them for a day or two. So it's great for teachers to incorporate the books into the classroom. And then
Or
if you,
and parents over coming up with the
yes,
summer.
bedtimes.
We are taping this in the beginning of summer, so if you are looking for things to keep your kids occupied in a constructive manner over the summer, that the video, that's such a cool idea.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun making them. We did it during the pandemic because we live in LA and it's usually so loud. And we were like, oh, now's the opportunity when it's
Quiet.
quiet. So we actually ended up making a lot of cool things during that time that I'm really proud of, that I hope more people will get to experience soon.
Well,
Um,
we're
yeah,
excited for you. We're excited for the production of The Little Penguin. We'll be watching for that. I think everybody should go to your website. It's an experience in itself. Can you tell us what that is again, one more time?
sure. It's whimsicalworldbooks.com.
Okay, and we'll be putting that in our show notes too. So if you are interested, you can find it there as well. Sheri, we wish you the best of luck. It's always an inspiration to talk to you. I miss you. I miss seeing you. Um, so let us know what happens. Best of luck to Derek too, and on your collaboration. And hopefully maybe next time we can have you both back to talk about it.
That would be wonderful.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right. Well, stay safe, be well. Sheri, stay safe and be well, everyone else. Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed today's video, which, I mean, really, how could you not? But if you did, you can share it on Facebook with your friends, or you can wait and go to SCWA Writers Online for an edited version that you can also share. And you'll also see more videos like this. So we appreciate your support, everybody who's been with us today. And we will see you next time on the SCWA Hump Day Book Tour.